What's up guys, JV2017 here, and I am bringing you a new Fallout 4 tips and tricks video. And this time we are continuing my unique weapon guide series with another melee weapon. And just a quick reminder guys, this is your hub for daily Fallout 4 content here on YouTube, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned on my channel for daily Fallout 4 tips and tricks videos. Today I'm going to show you how to get Kremvh's Tooth. Kremvh Tooth. Yeah, that's how you say it, which is a unique machete with a pretty powerful modifier. Here's a little background info. This weapon was a sacrificial blade used by religious cultists and is one of the last arcane artifacts in the Fallout universe, which is some pretty interesting stuff. Real quick, I will be streaming Fallout 4 on my Twitch channel starting December 15th, just a few days away. If you guys are interested, I'll have more information for you towards the end of the video. Kremvh's Tooth is located at the bottom of the Dunwich Borer's Mine, which is a location in the upper eastern part of the map. I mean, there's not even a huge significant landmark close to it, so I just say it's very far north of kind of the general downtown Boston area. And this is actually a reference to the place called Dunwich Building from Fallout 3, where the player would actually get flashbacks when you went in there. I went in there when I was streaming Fallout 3, and it was very spooky, scary, and also there were some live cultists, at the bottom of that area in the game. Unfortunately, there are no live cultists in this area. There are just some ghouls there, which were cultists in the past, which is pretty cool. And while you're down here, you're just going to keep going straight down once you get into the mine area. Don't forget to grab a magazine. It's located on an armor bench, so don't forget to grab that. And also don't forget to grab the sneak bobblehead, which is a little bit further down. It's going to be sitting on a table as well. Those are things you just don't want to miss while you're coming down here, because it's going to be a pain to come back and get them later if you haven't already gotten them. As you go further and further down the mine shaft tunnel, you'll come across this dead end right after a flashback with some people. You'll kill some ghouls that actually have names, which means they were some of the cultists, which is kind of cool. And then you'll see this pit with some water in it, and it looks like you have to go down there, which you do. And that's where the blade is located. But real quick tip guys, do not jump in here if you're wearing power armor. Get out of your power armor first, or else you won't be able to get your power armor out of the bottom of the pit. So once you kind of swim down there, you'll go towards the bottom and notice there's nowhere to go. However, there is kind of a small hole, so you can swim through that, and then you'll see the sacrificial altar where the blade is located. Once you've gotten Kremvh's Tooth, you'll see that the description says targets bleed and are poisoned, and that's a reference to the wounding and poisoners modifier. So wounding causes targets to bleed for 25 damage over time, and then poisoners actually poisons the target for 10 seconds. This weapon does both of those things, and it says exceptional damage. I couldn't tell you guys exactly what that means, what that refers to in terms of a modifier, but it's obviously good. It obviously gives you more damage, and of course this is a medium speed machete with this sacrificial blade mod. Speaking of which, there's actually nothing you can do in terms of modding with this weapon. You can't make an additional mod, and there's only one mod slot because the base weapon here is a machete. However, you can actually remove the only thing that's causing these modifiers, which is called the sacrificial blade mod. You can actually take it off of this weapon, and it'll be a plain old machete. It'll still show up as Kremvh's Tooth, but once you remove it, you can actually place it on other machetes. So you'll see here, I can actually put it on the Ghoul Slayer's machete, and you can do this for any legendary machete weapon. I tried to put it on a combat knife, but it just didn't work. So this is only something that you're going to be able to use with machetes, which is pretty cool. If you keep playing through the game on the same character, and for example, you're on survival difficulty, you're gonna have a lot more legendaries to deal with. But if you get a really good machete, with a modifier on it, you can attach this mod, and you just get even more modifiers. So that's kind of an interesting thing. It's very unique for this particular unique weapon. I'm sure you guys could already tell from the beginning of the video, but my main character that I make these videos with is not a melee based character whatsoever. Very low strength. I didn't put any points into big leagues. So really, you're not seeing the full effect and power of this weapon. If you're also playing a non-melee character, you're probably gonna find this weapon at around 40 damage like I am. However, if you are, if you got max big leagues, then of course this weapon is going to be really powerful for you. And you'll see through my gameplay, over time I kind of learned the tricks of the trade with using a melee weapon, even though I'm not a melee character. And the Kremvh Tooth still holds up with its damage, even when I'm fighting like level 30 to 40, maybe even 45 super mutants. I'm a level 50 something myself. It still holds up. I'm able to get behind enemies. It's got a medium speed. It'd be fantastic if this was a fast speed weapon, but it's not. It's medium, but you can still get behind enemies, especially super mutants, and kind of chop away and kind of, stagger them, not like actually stagger them like the modifier, but just kind of deal enough damage to where they kind of flinch, and then you can keep dealing that damage from behind. And not only is this weapon, powerful, it's also really interesting to go get. You go to this really cool area, you also get an opportunity to get a bobblehead and a magazine. So really, no matter what, if this is useful to you, I would advise you guys to go and pick it up. It's a really cool kind of experience to get this weapon and have it in your hands. So I'd like to know, after watching this video, are you going to go ahead and get Kremvh's Tooth? How would you rate this weapon and stack it up against other melee weapons? Like I said, we've covered Grognak's Axe. That's a great melee weapon. So is the Super Sledge, which is more abundant, obviously, since it's not unique. And then we got Kremvh's Tooth, and that really, for me, kind of rounds out the top 3 best melee weapons available. Those are just my opinions. Let me know what you guys think as well, and also suggest a new weapon for me to cover in a future weapon guide video. For those of you interested in my stream, I will be live streaming an entire Fallout 4 survival mode playthrough on my Twitch channel starting December 15th. So check the description below for a link to my Twitch channel where you can follow me there. That's where I'll be streaming. We'll be playing Fallout for at least 3 hours every single day for a solid month, and I'll be giving away 1 copy of Fallout 4 on Xbox One only to a lucky viewer, 1 viewer, at the end of my first stream on December 15th. And I think I've decided right now that on that December 15th stream, I will start at 7 p.m. Central Time. So if you don't live in Central Time, go ahead and check out a time conversion website, and that'll help you out for your time zone. I'm still working on the rest of the schedule, so once I've got that figured out, I will let you all know and put it in the description of my videos. Alright guys, today I shared how to get the unique Kremvh's Tooth weapon in Fallout 4, and next time we'll cover more Fallout on my channel, so stay tuned for daily Fallout 4 tips and tricks videos, and remember that this is your one-stop shop for Fallout 4 content on YouTube. If you learned something new, remember to hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe for more unique weapon guides, build guides, and general tips and tricks videos. Talk to you guys next time. Peace.